Will vocal compression destroy your voice? Is all that heavy voice use in rock and metal, for example, going to tear your voice to shreds, or is there a safe way to use vocal compression, get the sounds that you want, remain stylistically relevant and still have a healthy voice at the end of the gig? Let's find out.
Sound check. Check 1, check 2.
G'day there, my name is Dr. Dan. Welcome to Voice Essentials, where everybody sings. This is a channel that doesn't accept the false notion that society is made up of singers and non-singers. Here at Voice Essentials, we believe it is the birthright of every human being to sing. And I think you should be able to sing in whatever style and genre your heart desires. Now, some genres require heavier vocals than others. Take metal and all its subgenres, for example, like screamo and death. These styles employ distorted voice, and the vocal cost can be rather high, especially when compared to country or pop. And this leads many people to think that you can't sing these genres without ripping your voice to shreds. Well, I'm happy to report that this is not true. You can learn to sing with high compression without destroying your voice. Allow me to explain. The Dictionary for the Modern Singer identifies the term compression as being used by the speech level singing method, suggesting that compression is used to describe the pressure with which the vocal folds vibrate. High compression indicates strong vocal fold adduction, whereas a low compression indicates weak vocal fold adduction. If you're a long-time subscriber, then you already know I've never been a fan of the term compression because I think that it mentally evokes high levels of tension. Notwithstanding my personal preferences, I do acknowledge that it's become a part of the contemporary singer's vernacular here on YouTube. So I thought we should discuss its correct use, and then we'll sing through a couple of vocal compression exercises together.
Sound check.
So firstly, let's understand why high compression is such a high cost item on the vocal effect list. Physically speaking, when the singer activates high compression, the vocal folds are brought together for more extended periods of time than in low compression. Now, high compression typically occurs during a thyroarytenoid dominant, or what many voice scientists are now referring to as Mode 1 configuration. When explaining Mode 1, Professor Scott McCoy writes, "In Mode 1, the vocal folds are thickened by a contraction of the TA thyroarytenoid muscles, resulting in greater mass per unit of length and a square-shaped glottis when viewed in frontal cross-section." Here we see a graphical representation of the vertical phase during a vibratory cycle. Mode 1 has historically been loosely referred to as chest voice. Regardless of the terminology, the result is a vocal fold that is being brought together for longer periods with higher levels of surface contact. If the singer is using high energy Mode 1, or what the speech level singing method calls high compression, then the voice is at risk of wear and tear if the singer is not capable of managing their sense of subglottal pressure, the amount of air pressure directly beneath the vocal folds, as well as the level of vocal fold adduction, that is, the vocal fold closure. So the exercises I'm about to teach you will help you to manage your sense of air pressure, as well as find better muscular balance as the vocal folds come together to create sound. But before we dive into the practical, be sure to hit the thumbs up button if you're already learning something from today's video. The first exercise that we're going to do together is a breath management activity. This exercise is designed to help you become aware of your subglottal pressures so that you can learn not only to monitor the pressure, but also change it up when necessary. We're going to exhale a long continuous breath alternating between triple S and an SH. Shh. Have a listen. When you try the activity, I want you to take notice of what are very subtle changes of pressure inside your neck. Some of the difference is caused by the placement of your tongue inside the mouth, but I want to direct your attention to the area of your larynx and vocal folds. Again, it's subtle, so if you can't feel any difference to start, keep playing with it until you become aware of the kinesthetic difference. I've got a couple more breathing exercises on my downloadable CD, Dr. Dan's Voice Essentials, if you'd like to do more work in this area, which I strongly recommend. Learning first to be aware of the subglottal pressure and then learning to manage and alter that pressure is the first step towards controlling vocal compression. The second activity is taken from the Joseph Stempel group of vocal function exercises. This activity employs a rather high subglottal pressure on an E vowel. Have a listen. Ladies, I'm using an E4 here. Guys, you might like to try it a little lower on a C4. One of the most significant challenges of this activity is the onset, that point at which the sound commences as the vocal folds first come into contact. I want you to aim for a simultaneous onset and try to avoid a glottal attack, which will potentially cause a constricted phrase, and equally, don't allow the onset to be breathy. He, because a breathy onset doesn't engage the vocal folds with an active enough adduction. This second exercise is designed to help you achieve balance in the phonation, what some vocal pedagogues refer to as flow phonation, all while activating high compression. Our third exercise will seek to combine the virtues of the first two activities. Again, we'll be doing this on a single note. This time I'm going to jump down to the guys, on C4. And we'll do this by starting on a triple S, transitioning to a sh, an SH, phonating onto a single note frictive, and then transitioning into an E vowel. So the activity will sound something like this. Again. Well, you could hear my voice just leap at that and press into that E vowel, which again, we're trying to smooth that right out. And then you'll step it up in semitones. Get the note right, Daniel. When you first start this exercise, don't aim for volume. Instead, work to maintain a sense of balance between the four different sounds. This activity will typically cause your larynx to rise a little, and be careful that it doesn't go so high as to constrict or lock up altogether. Once you've mastered the sense of flow and balance, then start to require your voice to achieve high levels of volume, all while you maintain even and balanced sound. Remember, we are ultimately aiming for high compression here, so work towards intensity in the sound without causing your voice to constrict. Perhaps you've got a tried and true activity that workshops high compression. I'd love you to take a moment to share it in the comment section below so that the whole Voice Essentials community can benefit from your experience. And take a quick moment also to share this video across the socials if you know other singers who will benefit from what we've covered today. I hope to see you and your friends in the next Voice Essentials video. I'm Dr. Dan. Sing well.